Recording for the cloud. Welcome. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmasters, and welcome guests. 1 second. We have Rachel in the room. We're good, Catherine. She's coming in. Excellent to see you all so much, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Brian DeSimone. I'm the current Vice President of Coral Gables Toastmasters. Tonight's a special night. We have, for the very first time, as our host of the meeting, we have Catherine Stewart serving as Toastmaster. So I'm excited to see this. I know she's excited to get this meeting underway. But before we hand over the microphone to Catherine, let's go around to our guests tonight and have them introduce themselves and just maybe a quick note on what they've heard about Toastmasters and what they're looking to get out of this. Let's start with Daria.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Daria McCool. Just call me Daria. I'm recent to Miami from Los Angeles. I teach swimming. I have a master's degree in international relations. I used to run a nonprofit in LA, the United Nations Association, the Pasadena chapter. I am no longer interested in the UNA. I'm just looking to be better at speaking in public and meeting locals that are doing cool things in Miami.
Excellent introduction, Daria. Absolutely, came to the right place. It's a pretty interesting resume you got there. Mine is not quite as extensive. That's pretty cool that you were leading other chapters. I used to run the Toastmasters Club. That's it. That's all I got under my belt. So.
No, that's cool.
No, I'm just messing around. Thank you very much. Let's move on. Angela, if you can hear us, if you could unmute yourself and give a quick introduction.
Yes, hi, how are you? My name is Angela Navas. I work at Baptist Hospital in the more like as a business coordinator at one of the outpatient centers. I'm looking to be in Toastmasters because I need a little bit help with my public speaking so I can advance in my career. I have a master's in business administration. Nice to meet everybody.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Baptist, phenomenal employer. Big fan down here in South Florida. Yeah. Let's move on to Joan. Joan Fernandez, if you can hear us, if you could go ahead and unmute yourself and give a quick introduction.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
So, yeah, sorry, I'm seeing the meeting in the TV and have to switch to my phone.
Understood.
Sorry about. Well, my name is Joan Fernandez. I'm working at Las Mercedes Medical Center. Right now, I'm working as a medical auditor, and I'm here because I want to improve my English, how to speak in public, and I'm pursuing to get my MD degree again because I'm a four-year medical doctor.
Excellent to hear, and absolutely come to the right place to work on your speech and public speaking. Phenomenal. Great to meet you, Joanne. Real quick, if you haven't done so already, please, for our guests, you can private message me any emails or contact if you want, any more information on joining the club. But without further ado, I now give you, for the first time, for Toastmaster of the evening, Miss Catherine Stewart. Catherine, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Brian. Good evening, everyone. Tonight's theme is everyday magic. When you're younger, October really kicks off a time of year when you think anything is possible. From October to pretty much December, anything can happen when you're a kid. Witches and ghosts can roam the street. One of your parents could be a superhero. Santa Claus can flexibly get down any chimney, and there's an abundant amount of seasonal miracles. So even though many of us never received our letter from Hogwarts, many magical moments are still abundant in our adult lives and any time of the year, not just in the autumn. Maybe it's finding a few dollars in an old sweater, catching a glass before you completely knock it over, which usually I'm not lucky enough to do, or having just the right group of people for the right event and everything just seems perfect. This meeting, I would like to invite you to explore those everyday magical moments. And to kick off the meeting, we'll first go through our functionary roles, starting with the timer.
Thank you, Catherine. Tonight I will be handling a few roles, but one of them will be the timer of the evening. So during our prepared speech, table topics, and evaluation sections, I will be timing the speakers. 1 second here while I find my backgrounds. Okay, so for our speech tonight, it's a standard speech, 5 to 7 minutes. So at 5 minutes, the speaker will see a green background. At 6 minutes, a yellow background. And at 7 minutes, a red background. At 7 minutes and 30 seconds, I will go to black. Or none. Oh, no, I'll go black. Never mind. For table topics, I will put green on for 1 minute. And this is important for guests too. If you feel free, I will call on you if you're up for it. So 1 minute is green, yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, red at 2 minutes. And for our evaluator tonight, Miss Rachel Zhu, I will put green at 2 minutes, yellow at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red at 3 minutes. Thank you, Madam Table Topic or Madam Toastmaster. Back to you.
I was on mute. Thanks, Brian. Our next functionary role is Alexia with odd counter. Alexia, please walk us through.
Thank you, Catherine. The purpose of the odd counter is to use words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and, you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including or. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I, or this means at the end of the meeting. I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thanks, Alexia. And then next up, we have Felix, who will be our vote counter this evening. I'm sorry, our grammarian.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuses of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is horror, H-O-R-R-O-R. The definition is an intense feeling of fear, shock, or disgust. An example of using the word is, I screamed in horror after Alexia told me I used 7 ums in my speech. I will give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thanks, Felix. And then you're actually back to back on this one. So he'll be our vote counter this evening as well, for specifically for table topics.
I do not have the vote counter script in front of me, but you will be able to vote for your favorite table topics person and just send me a private chat message with your vote, please.
Perfect.
Thank you, Madam
Felix.
Toastmaster.
That's great. Thank you. So that was all of our functionary roles. And then we'll be starting with our first speaker for the speeches. That will be Mario this evening. Mario has been making excellent and very rapid progress through his pathway program in the leadership development pathway. And Mario, tonight you'll be sharing your speech with us, POP leadership. So Mario, please take it away.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Toastmasters. I hope everyone is having a great October. I really love this time of year. Halloween is probably one of my favorite holidays. It brings back a lot of great memories from my childhood. It also marks for me the beginning of the holiday season because right after Halloween, Thanksgiving and Christmas are right around the corner. I want to begin my speech with a quote that life is a learning journey on which we will pass through many destinations. How will you remember those destinations, and how will those that you encounter at these destinations remember you? The topic I want to introduce is about my preferred leadership style. I really, actually, what in my leadership journey, one of the books that I came across is called Pop Leadership. I really believe in the power of positive leadership. In my previous speech here, if anyone remembers, one of the main power bases, I spoke about personal power, which is one of the main power bases in this power and influence model that I've been talking about. This is the one that focuses on your character and competence, which develops your credibility and your ability to gain trust with your team. I really believe it's important, super important, to have a positive attitude as a leader. How you engage your people and your personal behavior that you bring in as a leader and a manager is what is really gonna make the most influential impact on your team. When you think of yourself as a leader, what does a leader have to be? A leader has to be someone that can inspire others. They want to see themselves being like you. And it's not just the way you lead, it's also how you live. It's about this credible person that you are, how you've grown yourself, your personal, professional, and technical abilities to be this person that is respected to the point where you can inspire others to do more than they thought they could do themselves, right? I remember being a young IT technician and having these great teachers and mentors, co-workers, supervisors, and managers that motivated me and pushed me to be the professional that I am today. Of course, not everyone in my career has been positive, but the ones that I remember the most and the ones whom I would be willing to follow are those who left a positive impression on me. That is what the power of positive leadership is all about. It is about looking at your people and focusing on their strengths, and then also understanding their weaknesses and building their weaknesses to become their strengths. The book also talks about negativity and why it's important to stay positive. It's not always easy to be positive, right? Life is not always rainbows and puppy dogs. Life happens. There are ways to get through it, be it through your faith, whether it be through your health, your mental, physical, spiritual health, your inner circle of friends, your family that you can talk to and you trust and can give you feedback. In as much as positivity, negativity can be infectious. As a leader, when you start taking a negative tone, it's very easy to bring other people down with you into this rabbit hole. And it could be caused by situations. It could be a decision from leadership from higher up that you have no control over. You have to come to terms with yourself. Are you upset with the decision? Are you upset with a person? Are you upset with yourself because you weren't able to influence that particular decision? Sometimes we think that there's only one way to do things, right? Sometimes we get into a little bit of this toxic mindset that it's our way or the highway. If you start thinking like that, and once you get into that, maybe it's time for you to find another place to do your job, because at the end of the day, there are many ways to get things done. Your way will not always be the right way, and you have to come to terms with this. This is the hardest part of pop leadership. Focus on the things that you can't control. Sometimes there's maybe a person has an idea or an experience that has been successful for them. You need to have an open mind that maybe there's something that you can learn from this person. When we stop learning, we stop living. As a leader, keep in perspective that you're always seeking to learn new experiences. What lessons can be learned at the end of it? Was it successful? Was it not successful? This is how you maintain a positive spin on the situation. This is how you get over yourself. Focus on the things that you can control. Compassion is also important to team success. Show compassion when a team member is having difficulty. This is when they need your leadership the most. How you support those in need during difficult times is really going to determine your level of loyalty and trust within your team. Always be mindful that as you deal with the misfortune of somebody else, others are watching. They're watching how you're behaving and how you are handling the situation, because maybe one day it's going to be them in that particular situation. I remember one of my colleagues at work dropped the ball big time, and my manager was surprisingly lenient and compassionate and stood up for him when the upper management wanted to go after this guy for this simple mistake that he made. And it inspired us, not because, it demonstrated not that he was a weak leader, it demonstrated that he had our backs and we could trust him. That's what POG leadership is all about. And so these are the main points that I wanted to share with you all. In summary, focus on growing yourself. You cannot grow other people if you cannot grow yourself. Leadership is not just at work. It begins at home, family first. You cannot expect to be a successful leader if you are not successful at home with your family, right? Staying positive is not easy. Life happens. I understand, be mindful of your emotions, be open-minded to change and learning new things. Focus on the things that you can control. It's about building relationships, be compassionate, talk to people, listen to your team, have conversations, break barriers and communicate. Be compassionate. And to close, I like to repeat an exercise that the author encourages the reader to repeat every morning when they wake up or before they start a reading session. And it goes like this. Good morning. Are you smiling today? Are you ready to have a positive impact on those that you lead and follow? Try this exercise and see if perhaps it works for you. Back to you, Mrs. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mario. That was really great. And I know, I'm sure many of us in the past few months have gone back to the office, and you always have so many little nuggets of wisdom in your speeches. And this was a great one that I think was really timely for a lot of us of how we should lead with others around us. So thank you for that. Our next section of the meeting tonight will be the table topics section. So for our guests, a quick overview. Table topics is a great way to practice your impromptu speaking skills, which I know is what brings many of us to Toastmasters to improve those. So Brian will have different prompts, and he will call in a different, we'll start with the members, but then we'll also open it up to guests if you would like to participate, and you'll have a limited time to speak. And just to speak to the prompt, it's okay. You don't have to fill every second or every, every empty space. You can just speak from in the cuff, off the cuff, and we would love if you would participate as well too. So Brian, I'll hand it over to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. And just real quick, just to give Mario his timing for that speech, it was 7 minutes and 2 seconds. So great timing. You qualify to be the winner of tonight's speaking portion. It is my honor and also a little bit of my horror to be leading table topics this evening. I'm not a fan of being the table topics master. I like being on the other end. I like receiving the questions, using my creativity to come up with an answer, whether it relates to the question or not, just having fun with it. So to be in the driver's seat tonight, it's a little different. And hopefully I've been creative enough to come up with questions that will challenge us all. Because that is my biggest fear and horror, is to leave this section and everyone thinks, wow, Brian did a terrible job. Those questions were too easy and we're never letting him do that again. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with this very basic question right here. And it's been on the screen for a while, so you might have already been thinking of an answer, but really basic, very easy. Trick or treat, whatever that means to you, whatever you prefer. Felicity, please. Trick or treat?
Thank you for selecting me as the first victim, because to my horror, I have no idea what to expect when trick or treat is mentioned. Well, for the most part, everyone knows that and expects the treat. But the trick? How many of you have ever had or had an experience where you actually either performed the trick or had someone else trick you? So is it really trick or treat? Or should it really be treat or treat? You know what I mean? Quite frankly, I would like to have the trick for once. I'm sick and tired of the treats because it's all those ridiculous candy that I cannot, should not, won't eat because they give me pimples, they give me stomach problems, and in general, sugar is really poison. But really and truly, if any one of you have ever experienced the trick, I want to know. Do tell. I'm waiting. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Excellent, excellent job, Felicity. I just realized how difficult it is having a shared screen and then also doing a time background. So that's going to be fun. Some more horror coming into play. Excellent job, Felicity. Thank you so much for that answer. Felicity, actually, can we, moving forward for this section, do you want to be a timer? Do you have the timing backgrounds?
Hold on one second here. Let me grab my timer background.
'Cause I have to switch back and forth to share my screen and then also do, I didn't think I had to. But we'll go ahead and get the next question going. If you can find them, you can throw them on your screen. And if not, we'll manage. But moving forward to the next question of my table topics section tonight. Very simple. What is your most noteworthy Halloween memory? Pretty simple, not too scary. Alexia, your most notable or your most noteworthy Halloween memory.
My most notable Halloween memory, the first one that comes to mind was when I was in 9th grade. This was the first year that I wasn't sure if it was okay to still trick or treat because I was a teenager and I wasn't a kid anymore. So there was a bit of confusion and horror between my friends and myself as to what we were doing for Halloween that year. But in the end, my mom got me I was a red M&M, and we decided to go trick-or-treating in the 9th grade. And that ended up being my most memorable Halloween memory. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Alexia. Good timing as well. Great job. Moving right along. Next question of the evening. This is actually, I like this question a lot, and I wish I could answer this one for myself. Dr. Vankman and his ghost busting team has an open position available for you, which you have applied for and been chosen. Describe your first day on the job as a Ghostbuster. Felix, I bestow this question upon you. Your first day as a Ghostbuster, please.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. What a pleasant opportunity and what an honor. I'm also privileged to see that it is the first ghost busting team and not any of the sequels. To my horror, those were terrible, but this was the classic and by far the best. Somewhat like the Sean Connery of 007. Some would argue against that, however. I digress. My first, all the tools that they use and how much fun that is. Halloween being my favorite time of the year. It's not really a holiday, but I consider it as such. This would be the job of a lifetime, especially going after real ghosts. But getting to know these guys, being part of their team, somewhat as a family of Ghostbusters, would be incredible. I don't know what position they would want me to fill, but I know it would be an internship for a while, learning as much as I can and being a contributing member in furtherance of the mission of ghost busting. Thank you, Tabletop Master.
Excellent, Felix. Thank you so much. Great job. I actually did figure out how to put my green background while sharing the screen, so crisis averted. Moving right along. If you could turn into another person or thing for one night a year, Halloween night maybe, or any night, who or what would it be? Rachel, I choose you.
Thank you, Mr. Tabletop Master. If I could turn into another person or thing for one night a year, I think the person I would like to be would be Elon Musk, because this person, he is a whimsical person. I mean, I don't even know a lot about his career, but what I know is he started PayPal and then he had a very successful career at PayPal. And then suddenly he decided that's not what he wanted. And then he went into Tesla and he started a concept, electric car concept, that way back when everybody would think that would be a terrible idea and no one would ever drive an electric car because it's not sexy. But now everybody in Miami wants a Tesla, and then you see so many of them on the street. And as other people are thinking, okay, now he's going to be just focused on Tesla, but now he's getting into the aerospace field and he's getting into more things that I don't even know. He just has 10 projects, maybe 20 projects that he's working on concurrently, and seems like he's being excellent and everything. And I just want to get into his brain and know what he is thinking, because I think that will help me tremendously at what I do and how to deal with these little 10 projects that I'm doing for my work, and also how to have a great passion at my work and to be dedicated at it. So Elon Musk would be the person that I would want to be for one night, so I can get into his head and then to understand how to be excellent and how to excel like him. Thank you.
Excellent, Rachel. Great job. Elon Musk. Yeah, I'd like to be him too. That'd be a fun time. Great answer. Next question.
Sorry, Brian, that switching back and forth is interesting.
What do you see on your, I don't know, is it just, do you just see the PowerPoint?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
can't see your desktop or anything.
All right, because there's a million windows open on my desktop right now, and it is interesting. Thank you, Felicity. Moving on to the next question. Halloween, typically a spooky season, a time when it's fun to watch scary movies, go to theme parks that are, they have haunted houses. We like putting ourselves into a little bit of fear, testing what fear feels like. And let me real quick, excuse me. Didn't change over the. So what has fear stopped you from pursuing in your life? Raynell, what has fear stopped you from pursuing in your life?
Okay, so I want to say first, the horror is mine because it's my first time being a part of this, and so I am like freaking out. So I think that is a thing that actually affects us all, because fear always stop us to do great things. My mom used to say, nobody will, or it's difficult to someone else recognize you, and you need to do that for you. So that's sometimes the fear stop you to going through challenge or whatever, trying to do things you can do, you think you can do, but actually is the fear the only thing that actually stop you to get those things done. That's all for me.
Excellent answer. Absolutely. Fear is the only thing we have to fear itself, in the words of JFK. I believe. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. Just kidding. Moving on. Next question. Great job, Raynell. Is there any guests in the audience that would like to participate with a question? Daria, I saw your hand go up. Okay, we'll go with you. Well, we have more questions, so if any of the guests want to participate, we have some more. 1 second here. Okay, next question here for Daria. You get a little head start. You know you're getting the question. After a scary movie, I tend to lay awake at night. It kind of takes me a while to go to sleep, and I just sit about awake, and I think about different things. So what do you think about when you lie awake at night? What's in your mind? What's rolling through your thoughts when you're just sitting at night and you can't sleep? What's going through your mind?
What a horror to be awake at night. I have trained myself to go to sleep whenever I want. So I usually don't have this problem. Almost never. Even if I'm a little bit awake, I tell myself, Daria, go to sleep. And I train myself and I go to sleep. But I suppose if I did lie awake at night, I would think about the things I have to do the next day, or I would say some prayers to take care of the people I care about. I hear a lot of people have problems not being able to sleep. I'm not sure why, how I trained myself, but I believe we can all train ourselves to do whatever we want or like things. And if we don't like them, we can learn to like them. But sleep is important, and I like sleep. So I make sure I don't lie awake at night too often. And I'm sorry for the horror of everyone else that has difficulties lying awake at night. May you all be able to find some calmness and breathe and get back to sleep. Thank you.
Excellent answer. I already know the topic of your first speech is to teach us all how you trained yourself to fall asleep. And I'll be taking notes because I need it. Great answer. Thank you so much, Daria.
Thank you.
Any of the other guests? Doris, did you raise your hand? Are you interested in participating for a question? All right. Yeah, you're still muted, Doris. Perfect. Gotcha. All right. So next question. Moving on for Doris. And this kind of relates to the theme of the meeting that Catherine brought. What do you do to make magic happen in your day? Whatever that means to you, Doris, how do you make magic happen in your day?
Magic for me, for my day, means almost perfect day. as planned. So what do I do to make it happen? I plan in advance. I rehearse sometimes if I have to speak. And I make sure I have all the props and everything that I need to make my day. So that's what I do to make magic happen.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, preparation going into the day. That absolutely will do it. Thank you so much, Doris. Do I have one more question here? Joanne, do you want to give it a shot? I got one more question.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Absolutely. All right. So this is a fun question. As a child, when I went trick-or-treating, I would always throw a tantrum if I didn't get Twizzlers that night. I would go trick-or-treating, look at my bag, no Twizzlers, my favorite candy, unbelievable. Throw a little tantrum. When's the last time that you lost your temper or you had a tantrum, and over what circumstance?
Oh, wow. That is difficult to think because I'm very plain person, a very quiet person, and I am not used to lose my temper very frequently. But I think that most of the time when I'm driving, it's like crazy. It's like try to reach to get home at time and do the things all day, and that's something that sometimes it get me a little bit a little crazy. I don't know how to say that, but I think that in that circumstances, I think that is the main thing that I can lose my temper. But usually I'm very quiet, very peaceful person, and I don't used to lose my temper. Thank you.
Excellent, great answer. I like to say the same thing. I relate to you. Keep it even keel. Excellent answer. Good job, Joanne. And thank you, Felicity, for assisting with the color backgrounds. It was a huge help. Didn't think how hard it would be doing that on my own. Quick timers report for our answers today. Felicity, 1 minute, 27 seconds. You qualify for a vote. Alexia, 1 minute, 5 seconds. You qualify. Felix, 1 minute, 15 seconds. Rachel, 2 minutes, 4 seconds. Raynell, 1 minute and 30 seconds. I kept the times for our guests as well, but because as guests, we can't vote for you. If you want to know your time, private message me, I can send it to you. But for our members who we can vote for, everyone qualified. So send your votes to Felix so we can tally up the best table topics answer of the night. To our guests, thank you so much for participating. Great job. It's not always, it doesn't always happen in our meeting where our guests come in and are so willing to answer these questions. So thank you so much. And it helps us as well as members to see you as new individuals coming in and getting to know going a little more about you. So thank you so much. I will actually, Catherine usually passes back to our general evaluator, but since we don't have him for the meeting tonight, I will just step in and take it and pass it off to Rachel. Okay. So thank you, Catherine. So the next portion of our meeting is a general evaluation, or just the evaluation of our speakers. So before we jump into that, I will introduce our evaluator of tonight. Evaluating Mario's speech, we have Rachel Zhu. Rachel, for your very first evaluation, a meeting where we have a first-time Toastmaster, a first-time evaluator. Very exciting. Rachel, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Brian. So like Mrs. Toastmaster said at the beginning of Mario's speech, Mario has made an excellent and rapid progress through your pathway. And then I can definitely see the great progress you have made so far with your speech. So excellent job. And I learned a lot from the leadership speech that you have made with personal influence and positive leadership in your speech. I like you said at the beginning of the speech, to focus on growing yourself, because it's not about how you lead, but it's about how you live and the ability to gain trust from other people. I think that was an excellent point and a great insight as well. And I think that you conveyed your message very clearly as well. In addition, I like your vocal variety, how you started with a quote and ended with a quote as well. So you must have done some researching to look for those quotes and then to place them at the beginning and then at the end of the speech. I think you have used them really well. So that's excellent. And then you transit to talking about it's not easy to stay positive, even though all leaders want or should be a positive leader. Because sometimes things happens and life happens, and there can be negativity, maybe coming from upper management or just from some difficulty in the project. And that can be infectious, as other people can be influenced as well. And then I think that's an excellent point as well. And then you talked about that you need to come to term with yourself, because what can you do when you started to feel negative and then you want to focus on the positivity. So the solution is to focus on yourself, focusing on the things that you can control. And then also, I like you said that to treat leadership as a learning experience, meaning that you don't always have to be right, and there can be a discussion with other people, and then sometimes it's good to learn from other people and adapt to the change, because it's not about how you always have to be right, but it's a team, and people can learn, the leader can learn from their team members, and I definitely like that. And then the last thing is to show compassion to others, and then I like that. And then you ended with a summary about you can't grow other people if you don't grow yourself, and being successful at work starts with being successful at home. I hope that you were able to touch more on the point of being successful at home, because I think that's something that we're all struggling with, how to not bring work to home. And then I think it would be great if you could touch more about that. And I love the content of your speech, very clear, clearly delivered, and then good vocal variety. And then I think it would be great if you could focus more on the eye contact and then the hand gesture next time. But overall, excellent speech. Thank you.
Excellent job. Thank you, Rachel. For a timer's report, that was 3 minutes and 37 seconds. So that goes over a little over time, but for evaluations, that's all right. I don't mind that personally. Got a nice evaluation there from Mario, and it's only going to help him get better. So great job. Thank you very much, Rachel. In terms of the voting tonight, just worried about table topics. So get those in to Felix as you can, so we can tally those votes. I'll go ahead and give a quick evaluation of the meeting. We're wrapping up here, and I'll go ahead and call on our individual functionaries for their reports. So we got a little bit of a late start today, around 7:10, which happens. But obviously, if we can get there right at 7, that's ideal. But it's every day we try to get better. So that's just another opportunity to get a little better, start a little earlier in the day. Tonight, I appreciate everyone coming together. Not a lot of members tonight. Sometimes that happens, life gets in the way, but everyone who did show up, participated, and handled a role efficiently and masterfully. Thank you so much. It's not easy to, when it's a small group like this, it's, a lot of us take on multiple roles. So thank you for doing that and making this meeting happen. Let's go on and get a counter report from Alexia.
Thank you, Brian, for the awe counter. You have Brian with 1 awe, 2 ums, and 1 Then we have myself with 1 Mario with 8 ahs, Daria with 2 ums, Joan with 1 Rachel with 6 ums, and Raynell with 3 ers. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alexia. And thank you for taking on that role tonight. Appreciate it. I believe that's your first time as odd counter as well. So meeting today where we're seeing a lot of firsts. Appreciate that. Let's go to Felix for our grammarian report of the evening.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. We have 5 individuals that used the word of the day. Brian used it twice, Felicity once, I used it once, Raynell once, and Daria once. So congratulations to our 2 guests in using the word of the day. Also, there were 2 individuals that said something that resonated with me. One was Rachel, where she said in her evaluation, focus on the positivity. And that I thought was very impactful. And also from the very beginning, Catherine, during her introduction, said something that I found very whimsical, which was many magical moments may happen. It was a very good use of stringing those words and that phrase together. And that's my report. Thank you.
Excellent job, Felix. Masterfully done with a great grammarian report. I will go ahead and hand it back off to Catherine so that she can conclude her Toastmaster duties of the evening. Catherine, please, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Brian. So we had some spooky moments tonight, but I think it's safe to say we averted any horrors. We had a small group, but a very mighty group. And Brian, hats off to you for having some technical wizardry over there with being the timekeeper backgrounds and sharing your screen at the same time. That was impressive. That was your very own little bit of everyday magic. We also had, I think, as a group, Everyday Magic from this great group of guests. We had great guest participation tonight. So thank you for everyone to join. It was really fun to get to know you a little bit during Table Topics Master, Table Topics. And in closing, I hope everyone has a very magical Halloween this weekend. But also I hope that magic stays without you throughout the year and that it's not just a one-time, once-a-year event. So thank you, everyone. And with that, I'll hand it over to, I believe, back to you, Brian, right, for calls for next meeting.
Absolutely. Thank you, Catherine. Before we jump to calling for the next meeting, let's get some feedback from our guests this evening. Just, obviously this is, I'm assuming your first foray into Toastmasters, obviously a virtual meeting, so it's a little different. But let's get some feedback. Let's start with Joanne. Please, sir, any suggestions or criticisms or critiques that you can offer? We're all ears.
Oh, well, for me it has been like a horror because I'm afraid to speak English, mostly public speaking. But I think that's the thing that I need to improve my English, my skill, my public speaking. That's something that I really need to do, and I'm really considering to join to Toastmaster for sure.
Absolutely, great job. Yeah, and English is my only language, and I don't speak it well either, so it's all good. You're in good company. So great job with that, and we look forward to seeing you as a member. Let's move on to Doris. Any feedback from you?
This was actually my first visit, new in the area. I've looked into Toastmasters before, but never attended a meeting. I enjoy it because I am expected to do a lot of public speaking, but that's where my weakness is. I'm very, very shy. I'll prepare it, but presenting it, I get so nervous. So I need to improve on that. And just listening to others present also helped me this evening. So I'm looking forward to joining and actually being exposed to where I think my weaknesses are. So this evening was very enlightening for me, and it was a means of encouragement. You can do it. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great input there. Thank you, Doris. Angela, any feedback on your end? Angela, if you're still there, can you hear us? Any feedback?
Yes, hello. I was trying to bring my microphone and everything up. Well, first, I love the theme. It makes it very to the week, and it was a lot of fun. So that's very good to engaging the team. I think I love how there was so many questions for the different members. And I think this is a great opportunity and a great way of getting to get more practice with public speaking. So I really appreciate the opportunity.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Angela. Nicely put. And you said something there about getting the team involved, and that's really what we are. We're a team here,
Mm-hmm.
and we all come together every second and fourth Wednesday of the month to try and get better as a team. So great input there and great observation. Last but not least from our guests, let's go on to Daria.
Like Dolores, I've looked into Toastmasters but never attended any meetings. And I was looking at the website and where to go. And the last lesson I teach swimming at is in Coral Gables. And I was like, oh, I can go straight after that to the Toastmasters on Wednesday. That would be perfect. And you guys had the best website. And it was informative. And I was like, oh, these people are active. That's great. And in the meeting, it's really wonderful. You guys follow Robert's law rules to a T. And then it feels like a nice family. And I would love to participate and be connected with you guys.
Phenomenal feedback, Daria. Thank you so much, and some kind words. We owe our website to our president, Lucas, who couldn't make it today with a work conflict, but he's definitely the IT wizard on our end. He makes me look, if it was him in my seat today, he would have handled this meeting a lot more smooth. So, but thank you for that. And hopefully we'll have an update soon. I'm thinking we're really making a push. Hopefully soon we can get an update for in-person meetings again. I know we're all itching to make that happen. So we have a meeting coming up with our officers, and we'll definitely send out, again, if you want any more information on that, reach out to me or leave your information in the chat. But it'll also be on our website. I'm sure Lucas will go out there and post it. So just be on the lookout for that. Hopefully we'll get that soon. Right now, I apologize. I believe this is your first meeting as a member, and I didn't go to you in the beginning. So please, just a quick introduction and any thoughts on the meeting.
No, it's my first meeting as a member, and also as a guest. It's my first meeting at all. So as introduction, my name is Reynaldo Salgado. As I say, my first meeting here. I am a software developer. I also came from the IT world, and definitely I looking for rise up my communication skill here with you guys, and I think I am in the right path. As I've seen so far, I definitely think it's a good thing to me to practice my English, the way I express myself, and that's it. That's me.
Excellent. Definitely looking forward to your future participation as a new member, and hopefully you enjoyed today's meeting. I hope it was educational and saw kind of how we did the flow of things. So we'll look forward to that. Let's move on. Before we announce our winner, our table topics winner of the evening, usually again we have a winner and speaker, a winner and evaluators, but since we only had one of each, clear who the winner is. So before we have Felix announce the winner, let's get a call. Let's see if we can start filling some roles for next meeting. Do I have anyone interested in being a Toastmaster for next meeting? Just looking out in this group, like Felicity, Mario. I know you're eligible to be Toastmaster.
So I'm actually going to speak at the next one.
Okay, all right, no problem. I like it. I'll mark it down there as a speaker.
What's the date again for our next one?
Oh, good, thank you. I wrote it down and say, I believe it's November 10th, Wednesday, November 10th.
Okay.
And
I'd
then
like
to-
to be a functionary.
Excellent. Any functionary in mind, grammarian, timer?
The odd counter. I haven't done that yet.
Excellent.
I can be the timer.
Excellent. Felix, do you want me to put you down as a speaker? I know you said you were kind of preparing. You want me to get you down there and
Well,
We could-
I was until Felicity announced herself, and now I'm scared. But
Oh, come on.
put it in pencil, Brian.
I'll
Put it down
I'll
in
pencil you
pencil.
in.
I'll let you
I
know.
got you. I'll pencil you in, Felix.
I can't be the only one, Felix. Come on.
I know, yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row. We've had Mario, so the contest solo contestant, and then today, so
Yeah.
we can't have any more solo speakers going on.
Mario killing it.
Okay.
Wait.
So that should be, it's a solid list to start. Rachel and Alexia, any roles, or we can reach out later. There's no pressure now, but if you're,
I can be the table topic master if there's a opening.
absolutely. Alexia, are you interested in giving a speech? I know you're still pending your very first speech in the club.
I can do my icebreaker speech.
Yeah, if you're up for it, I'll pencil you in. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's always a fun time, but it's a big moment. Icebreaker, excellent. All right, it's a pretty solid list. So we'll get that to you. We'll update the agenda for everyone. With that, let's move on to our winner of the evening, Felix, if you want to announce it.
Thank you, Brian. And by the way, you are way too modest. You have done a phenomenal job, like always. Thank you. It was a very tight vote. And the winner is Felicity. Congratulations.
Felicity, great job. Great job. Tight. We have some great answers tonight. Felicity, excellent. Excellent.
Thank
And
you,
to all-
thank you. I actually didn't hear you, Felix, because you broke up a little bit there, so.
Sorry, I'm having a little bit of a connection problem.
Thank
It
you.
was very tight voting, but Felicity, you won. You had the most votes.
Great job. So yes, definitely some tight competition today, but Felicity pulling it out. So with that, we have our winner stated. That will be the conclusion of our meeting, everyone. Before you leave, we always take a quick picture for our website and Instagram. If you're not comfortable with that, feel free to black your screen out. It doesn't go to anyone, it's just for our website. But if you're interested in being in the club picture for this evening, we have Rachel, you're in charge of that, right? So on you, Rachel, whenever you're ready.
Okay, great. Yeah, like Brian is saying, this picture goes to our website. And then for those that don't want to be in the picture, feel free to stop our video. Okay, so everyone brings up your best smile. 3, 2, 1. Got it. Thank you, everyone.